Hi, welcome to Your Paper Life. I'm Amy Coon, and I have with me today Jodi Sanford, and she is from Fancy Pants Designs. Cute company, love your stuff. You guys have been in the business for quite a while. Tell us a little bit about Fancy Pants.
Okay, my husband and I started Fancy Pants about 7 years ago. We just I was doing designs in the industry, and my husband said, let's just try it for ourselves. So we just kind of went ahead and decided to jump in, and it's been fun, interesting. Yeah.
Well, and I love your designs. And truth be told, how this episode has all kind of came about is your Thankful line that was just revealed at CHA. And let's kind of go through it and show so that everybody gets a feel of what Fancy Pants does with their lines and you know, how it all can come together. And keep in mind, this is a fall line, but we're going to switch you all up in a minute. So let's go through here and show some of the products.
Perfect. Well, this is from our Summer's End collection. So we kind of went with something that was a little bit more end of summer, but still moving into fall. So we didn't want to, you know, limit our time frame. So these are just a sample of some of our stickers. And then some of the other products we brought here. We always have our transparencies. Yeah, those are fun. So this is the printed transparency. And then we have, we can switch that out.
And this, I love this. This is, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but a flocking on there.
Yeah, with most of our lines, we'll do a printed transparency, and then we'll always do a flock transparency, just to kind of change that texture and add something fun to the line. So
very, very neat. Okay, and I think both of those can go, and we'll stick these up. These are kind of like punch outs, but out of the transparency.
Yeah, so these are, we call these our glitter cuts, and they are just a transparent print, but then in certain areas, whatever color of glitter we've picked, we go and coat the whole thing with glitter, so they're really shimmery and bling for your pages. So those are fun.
Love that, love that. And of course, I didn't realize that these are actually adhesive chipboard, aren't they?
Yep, all adhesive back. And this is a strong adhesive back, I promise, because when you go to stick it down, it's not coming up. So make sure you like where it's at before you take the adhesive off the back.
Okay.
So chipboard pieces.
Good tip from the owner there. Love this. This is kind of, you do 12 by 12. All of these are in a 12 by 12, but you have the 6 by 6 packets. And it's basically the design shrunk down to a 6 by 6?
Just shrunk right down. Perfect. I know card makers love 6 by 6 paper pads, but they're also perfect for if you want something, you know, again, smaller, like the pattern's too big, so you might go and accent that for a page mat or something fun like that. So,
well, and as I'm flipping through here, I'm hoping everyone's seeing that, yes, this is fall, but we're going to show you a little change up about this. And it goes for all kinds of lines in the crafting industry. You know, just because it may be the designer or the manufacturer has named it a certain thing, doesn't always mean you have to keep true to that. You can change it up and use your lines to extend them even more. Couple of things here real cute before we talk a little bit more about that. We've got your, you've got the alphabet stickers. These what are these?
These are our filter embellishments. So at CHA Winter, we first came out and they were just white. So you could use them for spray mists. You can stamp on these. They're really cool because they're a medium, like a coffee filter, but they have their own texture. Perfect for scrapbooking because they can be manipulated so easy. Move them around, make really simple flowers, really fun stuff.
Flowers are probably really
And there's always a sample on the back, so if you're not sure of how to use it, there's a sample there so that you can kind of.
And then, of course, the rub-ons. And I, as a mixed medium person, love to use the rub-ons. And those are adorable. And make me excited.
Rub-ons have been really popular for us. The color and all the brightness of them.
They're fun. So, They're fun little things. So, and then, of course, you've got everything that we showed you in the small one. You've got in your 12 by 12 standard size, along with a couple of, like, journaling tags. And you do
our cards paper.
And
then we also do a strips paper, so something that you can just easily cut for titles or for journaling or.
Okay, so Jodi, this is what brings us about to why we wanted to have you here today. I was looking at all this, you know, at CHA, and I realized it was a fall line, and you and I kind of share this together. We've got the little boy who's not baby, but, you know, not grown up to where we want the fishing and the, you know, the Father's Day look either. And it's hard, it's a struggle to find that in-between age group for boys. So I gave you the challenge of coming up with a boy layout done out of a fall line so that you guys can see that just because the designers and the manufacturers have put something out as a fall line or a spring line or a certain quote-unquote line, it's very easy to customize and make things fit like what we struggle with, this age guy, you know?
Yeah,
so
it's really difficult.
Talk about this, because I love how you took the challenge and how it turned out. You did beautiful. Great work.
Thanks. Well, this is my son, and I definitely wanted to portray the masculine side, and so I went with football because I don't think there's very many things more masculine than football. So
yeah.
I just printed off these photos of him. I mean, obviously his jersey didn't match this paper exactly, but I love the browns in this line, and so I thought, well, I can totally do sepia photographs and make it coordinate, and it's perfect. It still looks masculine, and it just brings out all of the highlights of not only the photographs, but also the product and the paper that I have right here. So
yeah, it is perfect, and I love that. I mean, I don't think a lot of people think like that when they see these all together on the wall, to think, oh, well, I can pull things out of this and make it little boy. For example, look at how you've actually made the football and the flag, and you're going to show us how you did the little flag and the football.
Okay, I'll show you really quick. This is really easy. Back in my days before we started Fancy Pants Designs, I did a lot of work for magazines, and so I did a paper piecing editorial often, and so this isn't like complicated paper piecing by any means, but it's like I cut this paper down on the layout, and I have scraps left over, and it's like, well, you know what, I need something there, a little accent. I have the paper, so I just cut out a little football shape.
Perfectly coordinates, everything.
Easy, matches, just little leftover strips.
Scraps, neat.
And we just make our little stitching, ink up the edges,
And your pop dots,
things.
I mean, love the pop dot dimension. But yeah, that's great. You took that from being, a Thanksgiving-y fall type thing to this. Yeah, and then talk about, I love your little chipboard products, and you've got a banner in there.
Yeah, so what I did for the pennant is I just took a chipboard banner. This is just this set that we have. It comes with 2 sheets, and so I just took one of the triangle banners here and just turned it, obviously, on its side. Added, this is just a little toothpick or a little stick, and you can easily trim that down with scissors. And you're just gonna...
And then what's your little guy's name?
This off. His name's Dawson.
Dawson. So Dawson must be number 12.
Dawson, number 12.
You
Yep.
added that on there. And
yeah, so I just added rub-ons, made a little pennant out of it, the little go with the chipboard. So simple, really basic, and
it's big boy. It's not little boy. It's not the frogs and the dogs and you made it fit towards that age group that in that gender, the little boys that kind of get lost. There's not a lot out there for them. So I appreciate that, because like I said, my Tucker will be happy too, to be able to, his mom has something that is more him.
More masculine.
So that's kind of what we want you guys to take away from this is look beyond what maybe the title of the paper line is, and like Jodi did here with this, and change it up. But before I let you go, I want to show a couple of other lines that you have out. We've got some really cute projects over here that Jodi brought along. We'll wrap up with. This is again with the Thankful. Is it Thankful line?
It's called Summer's End.
Summer's
End.
But
it's got a lot of thankful gratitude.
I'll just
kind of a
rename it for you, Jodi.
That's good. Perfect. It works.
And then this one I love. You can see where they've done the transparencies. Same line, but let's show. You've got more lines out. You've got your Christmas.
This line's called Saint Nick.
It's kind of vintage.
Yeah, it's kind
of vintage retro.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's kind of got a mix of different things. We added some craft embellishments, but we also have the bright pops of color too. So
very, very cute. And I love how you made use of your banner and your chipboard things there. That's really good accent. And this is the Halloween. I just love the Halloween. It was so different than anything else out there that I saw at show. It was very an outside of the box and
fun.
Neat.
Add some pops of color like the blue. It's a little bit different for Halloween, but it works.
It does. It was so adorable. And that's another Halloween.
Really basic.
And then you did a school line, which was just so yummy.
This one's really fun. It's more, the retro look.
Exactly.
This one's called Off to School. And it was fun. All of our lines have the papers, the glitter cuts, the buttons, all those fun things that you can add. The accents in here, again, is one of those filter embellishments that we've just made into a flower. So
That is so neat. And then this one's got a transparency. You're flocking as the letters. And I love that little,
the little flashcard.
The little flashcard thrown in. So cute. Well, Jodi, thank you so much for coming to the Paper Life here and, you know, kind of giving us a little bit of help expanding what we buy and looking at things a little differently that you might have in your stash. And best of luck to the Fancy Pants Designs. We love what you guys have out here. So we will see you. And this is Amy Coon for the Paper Life, and we want you all to go out and make a beautiful mess of your paper life. Till next time, bye.